Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christine. We do beauty on this channel, we do some vlogging, we do some lifestyle, some fashion, just whatever pops into my head and I feel like doing at the time. That's what's happening on this channel, so you'll have to stay tuned, subscribe, and ring that bell if you want to see the new things that are coming. Today, I'm using some of my very recent and newer products to my collection that I'm really just enjoying, and I just want to share them with you, and maybe there's something you'd be interested in as well. With so many new products coming out, especially in this season around Christmas time, all of the new holiday items are already in stores and on Ulta and Sephora, and Too Faced has some products out. Tarte has products out. I have ordered some of the holiday products already and they're on their way, so stay tuned for some first impression and mini reviews on those products. But today we're going to focus on getting the face done first. As you can see, I do at 47 still have some acne, and it's been a problem my entire life. Not a lot. I haven't had horrible acne. I know some people have such a terrible time with it, but I go through kind of seasons of it, and it will come and go. And right now I'm having some terrible breakouts right along my jawline, and honestly I think it's because I lean on my chin a lot, and also because I'm trying a lot of new products and new skincare, and it's hard to tell sometimes which one of those are giving me a problem, but I'm working through it. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to try and cover it up or hide it from you. It's there, and everybody gets acne at some time in their life, and we're just going to move through it and keep on going. So today I'll be using a fairly new palette that's been out from Lunar Beauty, and I think that this is a gorgeous, beautiful palette. I've used it 2-3 times now. It's the Strawberry Dreams palette, and it has such a beautiful color story. I'm going to try and show it to you without blinding you with the mirror. We've got a lot of really pretty pink colors and a gorgeous inner corner highlight for me, a goldish color, some purples, even a really bright like cobalt blue. So I love it. It also smells like strawberries, so wow, that is really nice. You can smell it as soon as you open the palette. So if you're someone that doesn't particularly like scents in their products, you might not enjoy this palette nearly as much as I do, but I love scented products. If you've watched any of my past videos, you will see that if it's scented, I am a sucker for that, and I will pick it up just so that I can enjoy those scents. The holidays are some of the best ones, so those are coming out very soon. Sugar Cookie and Sugar Plum, and just cannot wait. Okay, so we're gonna be working with that eye palette today. I also picked up some brushes that were on clearance yesterday at my local Walmart, and these are from Real Techniques, which is a wonderful makeup brush line, and they've also got some of my favorite sponges as well. So where makeup tools are concerned, I've collected quite a few of the Real Techniques. I picked these up because they're very different than anything that I have in my collection, and I want to see for myself how they work. And I'm a super saver. I like to save money. It makes me happy, and these were on clearance for, I want to say, $5 for these 3 brushes in a kit, and this is what they look like. Kind of strange, right? It's definitely angled, and it's fluffy, and they're saying this one is good for powder products and like bronzer. So that's what I'm going to be using that today for. I'm going to use it for my powdered bronzer. Then we have the next size up. This one, it's called the Rebel Edge collection, and this is the medium. The other one I think was just labeled the broad. Okay, that's the largest one, is the broad. And then this is the medium, and I'll be using this one for highlighter today, I think. I think it would make a really good highlighter brush. So we're gonna try that. And then we have this little teeny tiny one, which, do you really need a specialized brush to put on your brow highlight? No. Need any of these? No, I don't. But I do want to see how they work, and I thought they were so pretty. I love the color of it. So this is a really cool looking, almost tiny fan brush. So you could use it in your crease. It fits right in there. You could also use it for your brow bone highlight. And that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna test those out, see how they work. Then of course I'll be washing them and see how they stand up to a good scrubbing by me. And anything else kind of new today? Oh, I'm not sure if I showed you in a current video the Makiage foundation that I ordered. This is the foundation that you can try for 14 days and pay the shipping. And then if you want to keep it after those 14 days, they will go ahead and charge your credit card the remainder of the cost of the foundation. This was all over my Instagram, and I absolutely fell for that. It looked so interesting, and the packaging was so neat and tidy and clean looking that I really just wanted to try it. It's a brand that I've never tried before. This foundation is awesome. I love it. I have mature, very dry skin, and this foundation is called their Woke Up Like This foundation. I love it. It's in a frosted glass bottle. It's got a nice, heavy top. It's got a pump. I'm in the shade 040. You'll see in the video today, it really is a good shade match for me, and I love the consistency of this foundation. I love the coverage. I'm really impressed. I want to try more of their products because I got to try that for the 2 weeks to make up my mind. If I didn't like it in the 2 weeks, of course I could return it, and no problem, they would not charge my credit card for the remainder of the balance. So I'm really glad I kept it. I've been using it a ton lately and loving it. I also have the Lunar Beauty Highlight Moon Prism powder, and we're gonna be using that as our highlighter today. This is in the shade Venus. It's a really pretty, that glare, it's a really pretty champagne highlight that you can build up to a blinding highlight, or make it subtle and a lit from within kind of glow, if that's your thing. I also bought with that collection the Lunar Beauty lip gloss, and their packaging is stunning. Look at that. It's got a little jewel at the end of it. It is so pretty. I love it. It's kind of got an ombre, and the shade in that lip gloss is Dreamy, so we'll be trying that. And some other products that I am trying out are from the brand Mellow Cosmetics, and this is a new brand to me as well. They are out of, I want to say, Australia, and I ordered their lipstick, their liquid lip paint, and one of their lip pencils, and so far I'm really loving it. You'll get to see in the video, of course. We'll be using that today. I have the shades Harper in the pencil and Auckland in the matte liquid lip paint, and I've really been enjoying it. If you see me looking down, that's because I have a table next to me on that side that has all of the things I'll be using today, and it just kind of keeps the area in front of me a little more clear so I can focus on which thing goes next. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway, back to the video. What I would like to do is do the face products first, and then we're going to cut to the eye palette because I don't want this video to be super long. But I do want to talk about the Makiage foundation, and then I also have the new palette. So we're going to do it kind of in a part 1 and part 2 kind of a thing, so it doesn't get to be so super long, because I tend to chat and talk and chat and talk some more. So instead of trying to hurry through it, we're just going to do it in 2 parts and see how that works out. I'm also still enjoying my coffee. Love coffee. I've of course switched to the Starbucks pumpkin spice because 'tis the season. First things first, I've already applied moisturizers and serums and done my skincare. That's all taken care of. Excuse me. Next up, we've got our primers, and I also have a new brush that I'm going to try. Usually I just use my fingers to put on my primer, which you can do, and that's perfectly fine. But I happened to notice this brush that was also on clearance at Walmart last night from Real Techniques. It was a standalone product, and they're marketing it as you can use it to apply foundation or moisturizers or serums and primers. So I'm going to give it a try. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it has like a little kind of indentation in the center, almost like a little pool where you can apply the primer or liquid foundation and it won't run off the brush. And I'm going to use it today to apply the primer. So today for primers, I have two different ones because I'm, extra, and this is what we're working with today. I'll be using the Milani Soft Focus Glow. I love this product. It gives your face such a pretty, glowy look, and I have such dry skin that I can get all the extra glow, from my products that I can. This one is in the shade Nude Glow. It has a pump, which I also like. I'm gonna pump just one pump. Well, that was weird. It came out like in a line. Okay, anyway, I am going to pump one pump, kind of dot it around my face, and then we will go ahead and use this fancy little Real Techniques brush to blend in the primer. I don't have my eyebrows done. I'm sure you figured that out by now. And I'll be doing those off camera. My eyebrows take forever. I am not speedy at applying my eyebrows yet. So this is a very soft brush. I like how it feels on the skin. Like I said, I've had really good luck with all of Real Techniques products. And this is not a new to me primer. I've used the Milani Primer for a while now. It just gives you a really pretty kind of glowy look under your foundation that I enjoy. I apologize if you can hear my air conditioner, but it is still close to almost 80 degrees today where I am, and it is hot and humid. Any product that I would put on my face would probably just melt right off. So we have to have the air conditioner on. The cooler weather will come soon enough, and then you won't have to listen to my running air conditioner anymore. The next one I'm going to use is a pore filling primer. It's Dr. Brandt's Pores No More Pore Refine. I cannot speak today. Stop. Pore Refiner Primer. And I just have a little deluxe of this. This is a very pricey primer, but you'll see as I put it in my T-zone that it's worth the cost. It blurs the skin like nothing I've ever seen. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. And for this one, I dropped my mirror. For this one, I'm going to use my fingers because a little bit of this primer really does go a long way. But I hope that you can see how blurred the skin becomes when I put it on. And as with any pore kind of filling or blurring primers, you want to kind of push it into your skin so that it is filling the pores. It just blurs the skin right out. Sometimes I take too much of it. This time I did not get enough, so I'm going to get a little bit more. Even on the back of my hand, you can see how much this product blurs the skin out. It's just a very, very soft, comfortable primer. I'm not sure that it helps at all with the longevity of my makeup. I'm not really worried about that today. I don't think we have any plans of going anywhere. My daughter is in the process of moving. My other daughter and my husband are both with her today, helping her move. I don't discuss this on camera. I don't think I've ever discussed it before, but I have had 5 different back surgeries, and I'm not the most helpful person at moving furniture. I just can't do it. Maybe that will be a story time for some other time. But the most recent surgery that I did have, they installed a neuro transmitter in my back, and it electronically blocks the pain signals. Not all of them, but it does help. It has saved my life for sure. I was to a point where I couldn't walk and I couldn't stand up to even brush my teeth. So I've come a long way in the past about 2 years into getting back to work, and the entire time I was doing those 5 surgeries, I was also going to school full-time. So, and working. When I wasn't at school, I was working. And obviously I have a family, you know that. I have 2 daughters. They are 23 and 21. So next, before I blab us all into oblivion, I'm going to be using a dark circle concealer under my eyes. Again, some of my favorite concealer brushes are the Real Techniques. This came in a kit with, I believe it's 4 different ones, and they're all different colors, so you can keep them straight about which concealer you're using with them. This one is my Peachy Corrector brush. There's also a lavender colored one, a brighter colored pink, and a green for use with your other color correcting type concealers. I always and forever have dark circles. Just gonna get rid of some of those real quick, and I really like this one. I like that it comes in a pot, and I like the shade of it. The shade is really good. Now I use a different concealer for my blemishes on my face, and I do that before I put the foundation on. I just think it helps and it looks more natural when I do that. This one is by e.l.f. It is their HD Lifting Concealer. The main reason that I love this concealer so much is that it matches my skin tone really well. I have a hard time getting skin tone, the undertones correct, my blemish concealers. And I just saw a video the other day that her name is Jamie French, maybe? I'm gonna have to link that. Remind me to link that, Mr. Editor, sir. She is wonderful. I watch all of her videos all of the time, and she suggested that you should be using a thicker, compact kind of concealer to conceal your blemishes, because it will hold on to the skin better as you're putting on your foundation and other products on top. So if anyone has any suggestions for a really good, more solid, compact type concealer, please leave them down below. I would really appreciate it. I just have such a hard time finding something that matches my skin tone. It's either too light or too pink. I just have a hard time trying to figure it out. So any help is always appreciated. I would love it. Next, we're gonna go ahead and do the foundation. So I'm gonna take my Makiage foundation that I am really in love with. Shake it up. I always shake up my foundations before I use them. I'm gonna pump one pump on the back of my hand, and we're gonna start with that. It is a thicker foundation. There's no running. Can you see it? It just kind of sits there like a blob. So it is a bit thicker, and a lot of this goes a long way. So I'm very careful to not, you know, go crazy when applying this foundation. I hope I'm not putting my little mirror up in front of my face too much. I'm trying to keep it down. I had to switch mirrors from the one that sat on my counter to a smaller mirror that I can hold up closer, because I kept putting my head down, especially to do my mascara and things, and a lot of my videos you were just pretty much staring at the top of my head. I also have a monitor that I can look in. It's larger than the camera monitor for sure, but it's backwards. I don't know how to explain that. Well, I guess if you do videos you understand that, you know, your sides are reversed, so it's difficult to look in the viewfinder. I am practicing. Even when I'm not doing videos, I turn it on just so I can get used to working on my hair and my face that way, so that hopefully I'll just be able to look straight ahead at the monitor. I still think I would need a mirror closer up to work on my eyeliner and mascara, things like that. But for the bigger things, I'm trying really hard to look at the camera and keep my head up, so you're not looking at the, you know, tippy top of my head all the time. I don't want to watch a video like that, and I'm sure you don't either. So you can see that that blended in really super quick, and you can still see some of my blemishes through it. You can still see some of my darkness, some of my dark spots, and a little bit of the redness around my nose. But it works fantastically if you're not going for a full coverage foundation. It can be built up to a full coverage foundation if that's what you like. I don't particularly like that on my dry, more mature skin. So I'm not going to add more foundation. I think that is enough, especially after we get on all the other products. I don't like a really heavy layer on my face. I also don't like tiny little fuzzies. There's something tickling my nose. Good heavens, it's not the best feeling. So that is where I would stop and go into my under eye concealer. I always choose a concealer that's at least a shade lighter. I like a nice brightened under eye. And I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy. He may have to edit some of that out. There's something. And I've been loving this one from Catrice. It is very inexpensive. It's called the One Drop Coverage Weightless Concealer, and it's in a cutie little bottle with a dropper. And when they say one drop, they mean it. One drop is all you need for this. You do not want to go ham with this concealer under your eyes. Now, I in general use 2 drops, a little bit on the nose, tiniest bit on the chin, and then we'll work that in with a sponge. This is my Morphe sponge. I think it came with my James Charles brush kit. So just go ahead and blend that concealer in. As far as I'm concerned, whenever I'm doing concealer, I would rather add more if I need to than get way too much on there and then be stuck with it, because it doesn't dry down super fast, but I wouldn't say, stick it all over your face and wait a while. It blends out super fast. Again, it is not full coverage kind of a product. I wouldn't say you can build it up to that, and it's a nice thin product, so it doesn't feel heavy on your skin if you do want to build it up a bit. I just want it to cover those dark circles a little bit and brighten the under eye. I don't go too crazy with it, so I really enjoy it. The next product I've talked about in my videos before. You might be getting sick of me talking about it, but I don't care, because if you have more mature under eyes, if you think your under eyes get crepey anytime you ever try to set your concealer, try this product, and I think you're really gonna like it. And it's by e.l.f. Such a affordable, easily accessible brand. So I have found this at Target.com, and I've also found it obviously on e.l.f. Cosmetics website. But this is their HD under eye setting powder, and it comes in a tiny little container like this. It is an extremely finely milled white powder, and this is the only powder, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other powders in my drawer right now. This is the only one that I will use under my eyes. The only one. I've tried other ones. It always ends up looking very dry and very crepey, and I hate it. This one does not do that to me. So, put a little bit on my sponge that we used with the concealer, and set the under eye. I've also noticed I barely have any kind of creasing with that particular Catrice concealer, and I think it's one because I don't put a whole bunch on. I use the minimum amount. I'm also going to take this and just kind of set the T-zone a little bit. Some days I do not set my entire face, and then other days I do. It just depends. If I'm concerned about oil, which I'm starting to get a tiny bit oily now. I'm not sure why, but that may be contributing to the acne as well. My skin's been a tiny bit more oily lately. I was using a facial oil every morning, really early when I first get up. I wash my face, toner, and then I was using an oil, and I stopped doing that. and I noticed that the area around my nose was getting very, very flaky and dry again, and my skin was producing more oil. So the past 2 days I have been back on the facial oil train and loving it. We'll see if it makes a long-term difference for me. Next, we are going to set the cheek area today because we are using all powder products today. If I'm using cream products, obviously I would only set my under eye, and then I would hold off on setting the rest of my face, because you don't want to set your cream products on top of that powder. For the entire face, I'm using the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder. I love this powder, and I really love when people come over to visit. I like to get it out and freak them out because it is so unique. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what kind of just magic that is in this stuff, but it feels like you're putting actual water on your face. It feels wet. And it's so soothing and so just lovely to put on. I enjoy the act of applying a powder, which I never thought I would say, honestly. There are a few of my blemishes that are still visible, and I may go in later and kind of touch those up a bit more. As I said, I used to fuss about them so much, and I would want, I don't want you to see any of it, and I would cake on the layers and layers of product and try to hide them as much as I could. Listen, everybody has acne. That is not a unique thing to any one person. Everybody has had acne. Why are we so afraid to allow it to show? It's a tiny blemish on your face. It's not end of the world things we're talking about here. It's a zit. I've just learned to kind of get over myself. If you don't like it, don't look at my face. And again, I would go back in with that same e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer, simply because I love the shade of it. And if I didn't say so, that was in Fair. I believe it's the lightest one, which is funny because the lightest one matches my skin tone, and I'm not white as far as my skin tone goes. I do have a little bit of color, but this is the lightest shade they provide. So their other very popular concealer, the Camo Concealer, has much lighter shades in that line, but not this one. I don't mind that because, like I said, this is the perfect shade for me. I love it with all my heart. But, other people might enjoy this concealer as well, and they're going to need a lighter shade. So, e.l.f., get on that. Everybody needs to be able to use that very amazing concealer, so we need some lighter shades. And next, another oldie but goodie, and I won't give it up because it's the best thing ever in the whole wide world, is the e.l.f. Contour Palette. I have a ton of other contour palettes. I have a ton of bronzers, but the contour shade in this palette feels perfect for me. It's like when I met this contour powder, I couldn't go back. I couldn't forget about it. I tried. I buried it in a drawer. I tried to drive it out of my mind with, Too Faced palettes and Tarte palettes, and nothing came close. So I bought another one, and I do believe they're $6 or $8, so it didn't break the bank. This contour palette for me is the thing. It is my favorite contour shade. It is not my favorite. It is definitely not my favorite bronzer shade. I have other bronzers that I love way more than this shade, but this is definitely my favorite contour shade. It's a more cool tone contour, and I like to have a cool tone contour and then warm up the face with a bronzer instead. So the brush I will be using today for my contour, and it's got something on the handle of it, so that's bugging me. I wash my brushes a lot. I'm not one of those people that lets my brushes sit until I run out. I wash them pretty much every other day, something like that. This is the Morphe E48. It's a nice, small, pointed brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that contour shade in the bottom corner. Love it. See how much more cool toned it is than the shade next to it? So this is what I find all the time. even the ones that they call contour, and this is my favorite. So, once again, please comment down below and tell me some suggestions for very, very cool toned contours, and hey, I'll give them a try. I will try it if I haven't already tried it and already have it. Start up towards the ear, and I really do keep this right in the hollows of my cheeks. Try not to go down too far, up too far. And it just creates that magical shadow that makes me look like I have cheekbones, and I don't have cheekbones. I have a big round head. It is what it is. I love my big round head. It's gotten me through some difficult times. It holds my brain that helped me through school and to become a teacher of other beautiful children learners. I am an elementary teacher. I am certified up to 4th grade, and I love those little buggers. They're just so adorable, and it's so fun to watch them learn and grow from the beginning of a school year to the end. It is absolutely adorable. I do contour a bit under the double chin and also along the jawline. It had better not be this new contour palette that is breaking me out, because it doesn't feel like the formula has changed at all. It still looks the same on the skin. And if my precious contour shade from e.l.f. breaks me out, man, I'm gonna have a little tiny pity party for myself. That's what's gonna happen. I will take a tiny bit of that same powder on a Morphe E62. It's a nice, very small angled brush, and just kind of very lightly contour my nose. I just like the way it looks in pictures better if my nose has a bit of contour, not a lot. I like my nose. I've never wished that it were thinner or different shaped. I've always just appreciated my nose. I just think it looks better when that shadow is put back in there. It gets so flat when you're doing all of the face products sometimes that I think it needs a bit of color. Pouty little lip. And we're good to go. That is all of the contouring that I do. Like I said, I don't go crazy. I do add more bronzer on top of that though, so I use that to warm up the skin. And my favorite bronzers of all time are the Physician Formula Butter Bronzers. I think I have 5 shades of this. My favorite shade that is a go-to that I know I won't screw up and I won't go overboard is Deep, and this when I have a bit of color to my skin. And then in the winter time I can switch to either bronzer or even light bronzer, you know, depending on how much time I feel like spending on trying to tan at home with faux tan. Sometimes I get lazy and I just don't do it. I like the way it looks. I think it makes my skin look much more healthy, and it's not that hard to do. It's just one more step that I have to remember to do, and then you have to sit and let it dry, and nobody even sees it except for my husband, because winters in Pennsylvania are cold and you're wearing pants, so don't think that you're gonna have any exposed skin. Or this is a gorgeous powder brush. It very nicely diffuses the bronzer, and this is the Morphe M527. Nice big but kind of shaped powder brush. It's a little thinner. I even go to the apples on my cheek and a little bit across the top of the nose. I think it just makes it look a little more natural that way. And around my hairline, down my neck a little bit. Can't hurt. Right now the tan that I had is wearing off. I do spend a good amount of time outdoors in the summertime, and I get some pretty good color. I tan very easily. And also I've been using a really nice Plum Tanner that I got from Walmart. It is a spray and it's a clear liquid and I love it. It's the first faux tanner that I've used that does not get all over my clothes or my sheets. I can go to bed that night and not have to worry about it getting everywhere. It does not get as dark as some of the other tanners that I've used, and it also takes a little bit more time to develop, but so it's not like an immediate color change. But for my tastes, it works perfectly fine, and maybe I'll share that kind of routine with you at some point and let you know what the products are. I get help from my husband with that so that he can do the back where I can't see, and he's wonderful about things like that. He just picks it up and does it. And I just realized that I didn't use my fancy new brush for my bronzer. Bummer. Well, if we need to touch up bronzer, we will use it. I am going to remember to pull this one out for the highlighter though. Next, my blush is from Colourpop, and because I'm doing a pretty pink look on the eyes today, I'm going to go with a very pretty pink, fairly new blush from Colourpop. It is one of their pressed powder blushes in Shortcake. It came with their last pink, like strawberry palette. I always tap off my brush when I'm using their blushes because they're very pigmented, so you can always add more. It's harder to take it off, so I would rather build it up a little by little. Little smile pushes the apples right here. This is the apple of your cheek. This is your cheekbone. You don't have any idea how many people that I've watched on YouTube that call this the apple of their cheek. No, it's not. And I have big apples on my cheeks, so I know where they're at. I always thought my cheeks were a little too big. When I smile, my eyes almost disappear. It's not the best, but I like them. Gives me lots of room for my blush, and you can see that is such a pretty soft pink. I really like that shade. There's another shade that's even brighter than that one that I really like too, from that same strawberry collection that they put out. As long as you use it sparingly, it is a gorgeous blush. It's just, and it would look so beautiful on a darker skin tone than mine. But for me, as long as I use it very sparingly, it works out fine. I think I got a little bit of foundation on the lips, and I do not like that look. So now we are going to try this very cool looking Rebel Edge brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this gorgeous prism powder in Venus, tap it off. We're going to go in nice and light. I don't mind a blinding highlight, I really don't. These are gorgeous, so soft looking. They don't emphasize any texture. You know what? This brush is really cool for this. That went on smooth. Do I think other brushes do the same job? Yes, probably. This one is really cool looking. So, and like I said, it was on clearance at my Walmart. I don't know about yours, but it'd be worth a check, especially if you're one that doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on a complete set of brushes. Finding them at Walmart on clearance is just a wonderful way to build it up, how many brushes you have. I also put a little tiny bit on the nose, and this brush makes it very easy to go down the bridge of the nose. And you can use just the tiny tip of the brush and get your Cupid's bow. It's a very versatile brush. I think you could use it for a lot of different things. I can't stop touching it to my face. Ooh, it's so soft. I like it. All right. Hey, I'm impressed with those brushes. I enjoyed them. I'll be reaching for those for sure. There are some brushes in your collection that you try out and you're like, nah, that's not for me. And I have had some like that. I've gotten rid of them. But I don't want anything scratchy on my face at all. I do not like that feeling. Do not scratch my face. All right, let's see. Do we need to touch anything up? Let me see. No, I think we're good. I'll blend those together a little more so there's not such a stark line here. And we're getting to use our nice big fluffy Rebel Edge brush to do that. Just feels so nice. Love it. Love it. Not sorry that I spent money on those, although it was only, I think, $5, but still. Money is money. If I can save a few dollars, I will definitely do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I take a primer water and I spray it, and I have several, and there are lots of good ones at the drugstore. Today, I happen to be using Smashbox Photo Finish Serene Greens Primer Water because I love the smell of it. I think it kind of reminds me of fresh cut grass, and I do this to melt all those powders into the skin. They also have a very nice sprayer on that. I also have bought myself a tiny little fan. I've had it for a while now. And it just speeds up that process so you don't have to wait around for your face to dry. And in the summertime, it feels so nice. So nice. That cool primer water sprayed on and then the fan blowing in your face. Very nice. And that is the end of my face products. So we're gonna stop here and pause, and when I come back, I will have my eyebrows on and we'll get into the eye look. So stay tuned for part 2 of this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go do that. I would love it. Also, go on over to Instagram and become one of my followers. I'm hanging right around the 620 mark. I know that's a very tiny amount compared to a lot of people, but to me, it's huge that that many people would want to look at my pictures on Instagram and see what I'm doing. So I would love, 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 love it if you would share it and tell people, and just follow me over there, please. Okay? Don't make me beg. It's embarrassing. I don't like it. Just go do it. Be easy. It's not that much to ask, okay? So I'm gonna say goodbye here for now, and you'll have to come back to see that gorgeous eye look, I hope, with the Strawberry Dream palette from Lunar Beauty. I love you all. I hope you're happy and you're safe wherever you might be today. Come back and see me again. Bye-bye.